Very good. Hey, folks, welcome to In the Spirit of Things, and it's great that I don't have to carry the tunes anymore. Anyways, John, I was jamming. Hey, it was all good over on this end, huh, John?
Yeah, it was all great. Well, you're telling me the listeners couldn't hear you singing the tunes in the breaks? What?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, especially from my house. I mean, hey, I don't need a bullhorn. Anyways,
my ears are bleeding.
Yeah, oh, that's good. That's good. Well, then you're right on time.
That means you're listening well.
Yeah, right.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be one of those nights, folks. Yep. Give us a couple days off, and then we come back, and we're all wired for sound. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Anyways, hey, put some beautiful posts up today for those who are on the Privatis.Me Facebook page. Yeah, that's where I post. It's Peter's post. It's post and go time. Anyways, for showtime. Anyways, I like having a posting board, John. It makes my life a little bit easier.
It does keep things a little more organized.
Yeah, because thank goodness Andrea knows how to post it for me, because otherwise I'd be in trouble.
She is good like that, isn't she?
Yeah, I'm glad somebody has skills, because Peter just knows how to run his pie hole. And that is, yes, that's a new one for the record. Let's put it on a Peterism.
Do we have to use pie hole? I mean, really?
Yeah.
So vulgar.
It's sort of Yankee vernacular, you know?
Uh-huh.
They tell you, when they tell you to shut your pie hole.
Uh-huh. Oh, I'm familiar with it. Just
it's
try
something
not
you
to
eat.
be.
That's the thing you eat out of.
Topics of the day.
Oh my goodness.
What was that thing? What was that thing, Peter, about patronizing? No. It's patronizing. It means to speak down to.
Like capillary.
Right. It's just most people don't understand that joke. So yeah.
Right. Anyways, Michelle, we're glad you stepped in. I was wondering if you were going to show up. We were looking for you, or I was looking for you.
The metro was shut down, actually, in Montreal on the Green Line, so I had to make use of my skills and abilities navigating without a smartphone. So I had to make my way to the hospital and then back. But, thank you, Andrea. Michelle was first in line. Awesome. Thank you.
First in line is first in time.
There you go. So, yes, I'm here, present, accounted for, good to go. And, hi, John.
How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm having a good day. I'm doing a good day today. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Canada, and I'm loving it, so I can't complain.
Hey, John, did you see the post in the room together? Yeah. It's more like he's on my back. That's why I posted you. But he's hanging out and he's riding on Gorilla's back tonight because Andrea, she had to go to a funeral or a wedding. Same difference. State sanctioned. It's all good. Anyways, somebody gave over themselves to the state and wedding situation. They haven't been hanging out at my class, obviously. Not a good idea. Anyways,
Speaking of your class, Peter, how'd that go on Monday?
Oh, very good. For those who missed it, that's all right. Go collect it. It's on the events page over at Privatis.Me for further consumption. And, everybody can miss it. At least once I get it all taped, John, buttoned up and packaged, it'll always be over there ad infinitum, so everybody can follow the bouncing ball once I get all this stuff done. But it was a beautiful call. Sister Cookie really knows how to, first of all, she knows how to shut me up. And second of all, she knows how to she knows how to ask the correct questions. So it was a good direction of flow. Excellent overview on whence it started for everybody to go get the tour, to join, and read Slavery, Who Owns You? And basically I covered a couple paragraphs in it, didn't have to read the whole thing. And Cookie and I shared notes on multiple levels on literally how the wide swath goes far, wide, and deep, especially via the consent thing, from school to 5013C churches to your doctors, big pharma, medical. So they sort of got the scenic route for the hour and 45 minutes that we parlayed the information, and it's a really good direction of flow. So next week's going to be really fun. We're going to be talking about the birth certificate, my bond. We're going to show it so everybody can get little picture word association, take a look at the red digits, banknote company, and all the fun stuff, as well as the birth certificate securitization scam. So Yeah, you're not going to miss this class. And also the 5-page document of the anatomy of a bond, talking about how this all started back in 1920s and then under Parens Patriae, and then step forward after 1933 into the hypothecation events that we've been operating under ever since, because there is no money of substance.
Exactly. Didn't the countries go bankrupt?
Yep.
That's why we're in this situation.
Many times.
In
fact, I have a friend.
Exactly.
I have a friend who said he's very skilled at relationships. He's an expert at relationships. He's been married 7 times.
Wow. He's the master of his
that's
domain.
a joke. It's a joke. He's single, but it's just the same thing about the bankruptcy thing. I mean, our countries have been bankrupted I don't know how many times.
They've perfected bankruptcy to an art form.
Exactly. Just like when you're in construction and you have your Inc., you're incorporated. What they teach us here when I was going for my contractor's license. They taught us the little trick of incorporate yourself as Company A, and then when things get way too hot to handle, you dissolve that company and incorporate Company B. Which let's just say I dropped out of getting my contractor's license. I realized the name of the game was to just keep rolling in, just keeping the thing going, making as much money off the poor clients as possible, and paying all the various mafias involved. The Commission de Construction du Québec, the various unions, the syndicates, everything. So my plastering was artisanal. And I had my private clients, and it was perfect.
Yep. Well, that's good that you pointed that out, Michelle. Yeah, I never gave it much thought, but yeah, every LLC is another corporation. It's another hypothecation event, and it's just a round robin. Let's get this party started, and that's why they're literally exhausting everybody's estate and drafting them for performance and getting them into the court systems for third-party bottom-feeding garbage, even though they've been basically noticed properly. Hey, how about a valid claim? They don't think they have to bring one. They're going to find out they had to bring one after we get done with misprision of a felony, I promise, because we're going there. I talked a little bit about this last night with the new members coming into purview. We are going somewhere. We're going to a beautiful place. Brother Michael.
Peter, just to add to that, actually, before we get off the limited liability corporations, when you get incorporated, it's a numbers game. I realized in business you have to be one of 3 things. You have to be the first at doing something, you have to be the best at doing something, or you have to deal in volume. So I realized in construction, it's dealing in volume. You had to be one of the big guys, having many employees. It's a numbers game, generating as much revenue as possible, just on the whole cycle. Very much like you were saying, getting everybody on these hypothecation events. Register for this, apply for that. You need this license, you need that license, you need a permit to do this. Here, you need a marriage license, you need a death certificate, you need this, that, the other thing. You need to write a will and have it notarized and filed with the city, just et cetera, ad nauseum.
Exactly, and another reason they have us do all this stuff is because when you do sign an unencumbered signature, which is the most important thing you'll ever give over, i.e. SIN, signature, that's when you give it over unencumbered, guess what you just did? You gave over power of attorney to the state to act as a fiduciary to hypothecate the estate under whatever auspices they choose to.
And let's look at the word fiduciary. It's a position of trust, isn't it?
Yep.
They are trustees, but the thing about fiduciary trusts is they're not trustworthy.
Right.
And this is what we have forgotten, through the generations, that these people are basically working for us. And there's been this inversion with time, and, we're all scared of the government now, aren't we? We're all scared of those brown envelopes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I say we, I mean the generic we.
Right. The masses as a whole has been structurally basically created to a position of consent. They've given over because they've taught them how to consent for so many times. Matter of fact, I covered that last night as well. Here's how you've given over consent on multiple levels, and you got duped, tricked, whatever you want to call it. Don't get mad at yourself. It's not your fault, but it's been done for generations. They've effectively neutralized your parents, your grandparents, and I can prove it. I mean, everybody that was on the call last night took a couple inbound calls, and they said, we're saying the same thing. Yeah, this is the way my mom told me to do it, or my dad told me. Right, because they didn't know that there was a different way. They didn't know that they were giving over their consent, their power, because they weren't operating in the man capacity. They were operating in the corporate fiction capacity, and they were unaware of it. See, so they had to create a Tricks is for Kids hour to get everybody to give over, for these hypothecation events, because if they would have given everybody full disclosure, nobody would have come and played ball. Of course not.
Right.
Not in a million stinking years. Nobody would have given over. Oh, you mean by signing up with the body politic, I've given over my power to this corporation, and as part of being part of the body politic, I have no say? That's right. Your 535 masters are doing all the dictating for you, and that's why I said if everybody pulled their roll card for voter registration, they wouldn't. The 535 clowns of the circus would actually have to go find a job of substance because they'd have no slaves to run.
And another interesting things that we discussed, because I wasn't participating, I was actually a student in class last night, that you were discussing was the marriage certificate rescission, which is an interesting one. I think it's very interesting because when two people get together, they exchange vows one to another. I don't know, it's as though you wake up in bed with your lover and all of a sudden the government's there. That's basically what it is when you have a marriage
You're not doing commerce
contract.
Right, you two. We're going to show you how to do commerce right without the KY.
Right. That's right, because you two haven't figured it out yet. That's why we have a government assistant here to show you how to do
Right, we're going to show you how we know how to screw everybody really good because you guys give over just right, and we don't even need the KY. Hey, it's funny. I mean, we're making jokes about it, but people don't realize the tie-in with the word commerce. Folks, go look up the definition if you're new to this, and go look up the word commerce, and it says intercourse, and they are screwing you without the KY. See, we never thought that it would have dual meaning in a context that would actually be deleterious to us because we become the screwee because we gave over. We gave our power. We gave our consent. Have we not, Michelle? How many ways have they tricked us to give over?
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Everything that we do. Everything that we do. Everything here is an illusion. But to get back to the marriage certificate or the marriage contract rescission, I mean, it takes two people to say yes. But just one to say no to a relationship.
There you go.
And I just had another comment that I had contributed to the show, but Cookie had to leave. By the way, Cookie, if you're listening in, very, very good. You have such beautiful organizational skills, and I love the way that you were bringing Peter along and just guiding the flow. It was very nice. Yes, and Peter, if she interrupts you, it's because there's a point. So
that's right. No, that's good, and I have no problem with that. She can grab me by the arm and drag me across the line and get my attention, because sometimes that's what it takes, because I am the banterer.
Yeah, we noticed.
Go figure,
So to get back to the... Andrea.
Michelle sharing the love.
I really am. But to get back to the marriage thing... if I, let's say I'm married, I can end the marriage contract because things change. I might have realized, like all the other contracts that I'm involved in, that I've made a mistake. For whatever reason, I realized that the relationship has run its course. Then we were discussing actually publicly posting the rescission of the marriage contract for 30 days. I like that idea because you are giving notice. I would be doing that out of, in French we say noblesse oblige, which translates literally, my nobility obligates me to. In other words, I'm doing it as a courtesy to others. I don't have to, but if I do not, it would somehow betray my lack of courtesy.
Integrity.
Yeah. Sure.
Hey,
integrity, courtesy.
Michelle, let's tie this in for a second because they post crap in the paper all the time on foreclosures and stuff. That's the notice, hey, folks.
That's it. Notice.
So
you give notice.
This is why we do notice. We're going to be doing notices for all our brothers and sisters over at Privatis.Me. We already talked about it. Michael and I, we're moving forward to make a registry in the public. So,
I love that.
Nobody's going to have plausible deniability. We're not asking for permission. We're just giving you a heads up, and here's our heads up.
We're giving public notice. And it's nobody's business that I end the contract, and I really don't care if someone contests it.
Yep.
I'm ending it. I'm giving notice. It's not debatable.
Right. Here's your big cup. Now move on. Right.
That's right. I'm just simply giving notice. So I love that we're going forward now, and we're actually establishing a public place where these notices and recipes can be posted because, hey, I'm going to be having 4 very soon that I will be wanting to post publicly.
Yep. Well, Michael and I are also, I was telling John before the call, we're not going to do a claim the name type capacity that Rob Ryder's doing. We don't ask for permission from the so-called the guy who thinks he's king. We are the king. See, that's the difference. See, as a dead entity, you're asking for permission. You're always asking for consent. I don't give a crap what their statutes say, how they say them, how they're worded. That only applies to slaves on the plantation. But as a king, I'm going to give you my memo with my crest and seal on it, separating me from dead man's land, showing you that I am alive. I don't sign my documents. I seal my documents. Folks, there's a reason behind the way we're going this direction, because they think you're all dead. They've classified everybody. Once Mama gives over that registration of birth certificate, you're just a dead vessel until you come forward as a live man. Well, we've been trying to find out how to come forward alive now for literally, most of our lives. But this past year, Michael and I got a lot more direction and flow when we started cracking it on estates and trust. And it's all it's very simple. Estates and trusts are cut and dried. As long as you're not the trustee, all is good. You don't want to be the trustee. They're the trustee.
No, you identify the other people. You identify the roles of the other people. The first thing that has to be established if you are in a court situation is you identify the other people, their roles. For example, I had a situation with a tribunal court. Here it's called Régie du Logement, which is basically, rental, let's call it rental board. And, it was with a tenant that I had who was late for about 1.5 years on her rent. And this was every month. It was just this major issue. Anyway, long story short, and I really don't want to get into the details, I established the régisseurs, or the judge. By the way, they're not judges in tribunal court. They're lawyers. I identified her as the trustee, and I also identified my tenant as trustee because she's working for me, basically. And I identified myself as the administrator and the beneficiary of the account. So for me, those were the three points of the trust law triangle. And I had the judge practically sputtering. She didn't understand. She asked me 4 times. To repeat myself. I think she was trying to figure out if this was inheritance, because I used the word beneficiary. Anyway, ultimately she finally understood. But it's just you have to establish yourself as who you are. Otherwise, they will just assume that you're the estate.
Right.
You're the spokesperson for the estate.
I can't wait till Cookie...
spokesmodel. Peter, you're the spokesmodel for the estate.
I can't wait till Cookie brings her video, because she established the judge was a trustee. Isn't that special? Because he swore indubiously, if that's a word, but it sounds good. Indubitably, he said, no, the clerk of the court is not the trustee. And they turned to him and said, then you must be the trustee. He didn't like that at all. He didn't want to be the trustee. He wanted them to be a hypothecation event so he could mow them down. See, because if you don't know who you are, you step in and traverse into that all-caps name that the other parties have brought to the dance, then you are going to be drafted for performance, and they're going to get a game. But they didn't, and they set the stage well before they went into that goofy court for him to get the memo. They sent their memos establishing their living beneficiary status, and that's the last thing he wanted. And matter of fact, to date, that case, they don't know whether to crap or go blind. They don't know whether to poop or wind the wristwatch. They don't know what to do next because they shut the game down because they haven't consented. They haven't given over, just like Brother John did up there in Canada. Gee, how ironic.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful.
When you stand as a man, you know what I mean, they have no remedy for it. When you understand who you are or overstand, caught myself, Peter, who you are in those courtrooms, it's like I say, it's like walking into the twilight zone. Everything changes.
Yep.
They don't know what to do with you, you know what I mean, but they know you're dangerous, and I mean that in a peaceful way.
Yeah.
It's something like I've never seen. It's something I never wish on my worst enemy to go through, but I'm glad I did go through it to see what I went and seen, because it completely changed my whole outlook on everything in these courtrooms. It is a complete game. It is a charade. It is actors, and you can play their game and get railroaded, or you can say no, enough is enough, and a man has entered this court today.
Right, and you know what? This is John. You were like a pivot point for this ball going. Like I say, you stood fast in the breach the whole time, and I said, hey, we're gonna shine a flashlight on this until you come out the other side. And brother, there's a reason, and the reason is we've arrived. We found out who we are. We found out we do have the power. This is scaring the living poop out of them. Then this is a turning point on multiple levels, because it's happening already at Privatis.Me for all these people who are starting to get their mind right and get the game on. They're learning that, you don't have to give over your power, and you got to learn how to stand proper. And so we're going to help our brothers and sisters, the lawyer craft, to become proverbial speed bumps and get their minds right, because we're really going to help them get their minds right, because they haven't got the memo yet, and they're going to.
Exactly. We got a quick question on.
Yeah, well, we'll take it after break.
Take it after break, okay.
Yep. I'm going to go there. I don't want to get binded up at break. It's 7:27. Matter of fact, hey, we're going to go take a break right now. Hey, everybody do what they do when they take a break. We'll be right back. Thank you.
You're listening to In the Spirit of Things on I Am Free Will Radio. Join us on our Blog Talk radio station every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday night, live from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. To find all the links we mention on the show and to stay up to date about when we go live on BTR, make sure you connect with us on our social sites. Follow us on Twitter at handle Privatis.Me. You can also friend us, like us, or join our open group on Facebook by searching Privatis.Me, or by clicking on the Facebook icon on our homepage. It's really that simple.
Unmuted, somebody. Are we unmuted or what?
I hear you, Peter. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I know. I hear me too, but I don't know if I'm unmuted. I didn't hear the unmuted signal.
Yeah, we're all live.
We're all live.
Isn't that
Very
special?
good.
Yeah, we got our stuff in one sock over here. Anyways, I'm over on the porch. Hey, John, I'm in the middle of Hurricane Peter. I got my significant other taking pictures of my daughter and her boyfriend. She can't find the right button. It's one of them deals. I'm just saying, y'all need to move this traffic off my porch. This is my bantering area. You've all been relegated to a subservient status. Now move along, please. I have a show to do. Anyways, it's funny.
I think we should get a roll of danger tape, Peter, for when you actually do the show, and just sort of, put it up around you, establish a perimeter.
There you go. Get some red tape like we used to do on high-powered situations and stuff like that, and ditches and whatever. And
yeah, because sometimes you crank it all the way up to 11, so we just want everybody to be safe.
Anyways, it's fun over my house. Now I got to go get my glasses. I'm back on the porch, and the 30 monkeys are still passing around the same football. It's a beautiful thing. Anyways.
Where were we?
Hey, folks, welcome to our house. Yes, never a boring moment over here. We were just talking about consent, giving over, multiple other things. The conversation goes south very quickly. Anyways, hey, we were just sharing good stuff about last night's beautiful curriculum class. For those who haven't got the memo, if you go to the Join Me page, you'll get the memos, because Brother Michael posts them regular. So you won't miss a beat. But if you choose to miss a beat, you can always catch it in the events page. But you you can't get you on the events page unless you've done the Join Me for free. So we gave a new direction of flow. We told them first they got to join, they do their join because this is private, and then I can talk about stuff on Thursday nights. Like I say, tonight, we're not going to be doing the legalism hour or the legalism 2 hours. I'm not going to be answering any more of these questions on people's issues. They can share the love on, maybe how they've dealt with some stuff or whatever. But, I will not be answering any more of those questions. That's will be reserved at Privatis.Me on Thursday nights. So come on over. The water's fine. And, matter of fact, I'm going to extend the show, not the show, but the actual class on Thursday nights, 2 hours. So I'm going back to 7 and 9 on that. It was 7 to 8. But the first hour will be direction of flow. Second hour will be question and answer. So people can ask in the public. I can't answer this, folks, legal stuff, because then they would construe that I was giving legal advice. And I don't give legal advice. And you want to get yourself whacked real quick, you start giving legal advice or even implying that it's close to legal advice. So can't do that really here, and I just sort of try to reset a new precedent, but I can do it over at my private house, and that's where Privatis.Me is. So if you want to join along, you can sign up for free, go see all the beautiful pages, take the free tour, find out where everything is, and then when you get the rose-colored glasses pulled back, then it'll help you decide if you want to be free or still stay on the slave plantation and let the insane train keep on running. Everybody has free will and choice. That's why we started this show. It's about free will, and we talk about it in the spirit of things because, we're all having a divine experience, for lack of a better term. We're all upright and walking. So this is a change. This is a shift between the years, folks, and it's up to you. It's not up to me. I've already made my shift. I'm full of shift.
We all are. Peter, we were discussing this a while ago about just guiding your energies so that you can so that you can contribute at your highest and best capacity. And we discussed the idea that your energies are being pulled in so many very different directions, helping people on their individual cases. And that was the whole idea between the videos that have been posted on Privatis.Me, so that people could actually go and find the answers to their questions there. Also, the guide to find where everything is on the site. Those short videos, so that people could learn to navigate properly, so they could find their own answers, and also the reason for the curriculum, which ironically you started up months and months ago, and that's where I found you again after having heard you, I think, with on some other shows. And I had just gotten back into this research that I was doing for myself. And but it's interesting that you actually mentioned it on last night's class, that yes, you had set up the platform, but that not everything was in place. So remember that idea of the spiral that we were discussing. All the energies are all around, and you'll be guided by one, and then you'll finish that, and then you'll come to another, and then the first one calls you back because there's something else that you can add to that. This is exactly what's happening. So you had a semblance of a platform months and months ago, but not everything was in place. So you went full spiral, and now you're pretty much back at the same area, but at a different level. Now everything is ordered and structured, and the curriculum is, I'm really looking forward to these classes on Monday nights. Last night was great. I love how Cookie guides you. So, that's my spiel.
4 or 5 months ago, didn't have half the platform, didn't really have anything quite established. My mind was right, but the platform wasn't quite there. So I guess
I'd like to make that clear for the listeners too.
Sure.
There's been a lot of listeners with us that don't check back with the site, in months. They're coming forward and stuff, hearing their calls and stuff, but they're still talking about stuff that happened months ago, and they're not up to date with the new stuff that's going on. There's so much new stuff on the site now that you really need to keep checking back with and updating and reviewing the information that's being posted, because, like I say, Michael and Peter, they're on 24/7 on the site, and they're always adding more and more information. The Facebook page is just for stories, what's going on in the world, but the Privatis stuff is for members and free members to really get caught up and really get educated, and that education is always growing on that site. So always keep checking back.
Hey, it changes. It changes daily, weekly, and over the like I say, what did we say, John? 90 years ago, we had the redheaded stepdaughter, and she had braces. Now we got a beauty prom queen stepping into the runway.
Exactly.
Hey,
if
Peter,
you're cordless, Peter, you might want to get a little closer to your base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to mention you're very scratchy. It's not a very good reception we're getting on you.
All right, is that better?
Yeah.
Is it because you were outside in the wind, Peter?
Excuse me?
Is it because you were outside in the wind?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Is that all right? Do I have permission and consent?
You have permission and consent. You don't need it. You have it because I'm giving it to you from noblesse oblige, but you do not need it.
Okay, very good.
Please continue.
Well, anyways, I was just trying to share that the whole site's a work in progress. Yeah, the skull and crossbones left 3 months ago, for those who still think we got skull and crossbones up there.
Yeah, that's a big, Illuminati symbol.
It's scary.
A lot of the people that don't like that stuff.
No,
that's the
like
skull and bones
crossbones
for old the 322,
Yeah, Michael set up, that was pretty nifty. He set up my own page, Pirate Pete. You got to love that. My goodness.
Yeah, and I remember seeing that, and I thought, okay, no credibility. I'm moving on. It's like I looked at the material. It seemed to make sense, but then I thought, with the crossbones and the wood thing across, really? A pirate ship? Like, I understood. Yeah, Peter, just to get back to what I was discussing about having your energies pulled in so many different directions, people have to understand that you're one person, one man, I should say, and that we're a group that are working together in different capacities. Each one of us has different abilities and skills and life experience and know-how. But the thing is, you can't. From what I understood, you're not there to be a savior to people, rather because that just perpetuates the victim-savior mentality. It's just this ongoing thing. Rather, you're there to empower people so that they can get the information, so that they can stand on their own and solve their own problems. And I think ultimately that's the best kind of help.
Yep.
So all these months that you've been going through your own personal shift, with all the energies going all over the place, you see what I'm saying, though, right?
Yep. Yeah.
That it's important for you to conserve your energy so that you can come more into alignment with what exactly it is you're here to do. And it's not by helping people on an individual basis necessarily, but rather to help people help themselves. And that's with the processes that Michael and you are coming up with and posting, and we've got the various different documents up, and it's a work in progress. There are going to be more things coming about. I was discussing the idea of having a public place to post these notices, because otherwise, I was going to be doing them on my own before I came across you guys, and I was going to do them, publicly in the French language and English language newspapers in Montreal. But, just so much cooler to have it online because it's accessible. You know, the newspaper comes and goes. You know, where is it on record kind of thing, you know? So I like the idea that we're setting up sort of our own record of documents, of notices, of recipes, so that they're available for people. You know, we're not there yet, but you know, I assume at one point we're going to get to the vehicle. The vehicle situation is a big one, which is why it's important that we're giving people sort of the confidence builder. The confidence builder is the third-party debt termination package.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been talking too long.
No, the confidence builder is the people stepping forward and ripping the bull's horns off and stepping into the fray for themselves and knowing once they've come through class that it's all tricks for kids and they know how to stand and ask the right questions.
Right.
If they have to get binded up. You know, Mr. Lawyer, how about we just go over each one of these questions on my documents that I sent to you forthcoming 6 weeks ago that you failed to respond to? And then he's going to say something stupid like, well, is this your signature here? No, I'm asking questions, you're answering, and no, that is not my signature. It's a facsimile, it's a fraud, just like you. So how about we go over these questions that I sent you, registered mail, and I'm asking, but it seems you're not telling. How about where's the damn claim? But you don't have to say damn.
No.
You know, Peter, if ever you sell tickets to your next court appearance, if ever you do choose to go to make an appearance, especially, I would love to go there. I would love to be present.
Yeah, the attorney's not going to want to be there when I get done. He's going to melt into the woodwork. Where's the escape hatch? Sort of like the clowns that when Cookie was beating the brakes off him down there in Florida, and they were looking for an escape hatch themselves. Isn't that funny?
Well, they don't like when you start using intelligent dialogue, as you say, in their courtroom.
Right.
You know, when you don't play the same game that 99.9% of the other people go in there and play. You know, it really throws them off. So we're making all kinds of friends, Peter.
Yep.
I still get a minor case of nerves. Well, because I have to do it in French. So for me, it's just to, you know, that uncertainty that the right word will come and it's the proper word, you know.
Well, you just need to get into more trouble, Michelle, that's all. You'll get a thick skin.
Right.
There you go, more practice.
More practice.
Well, yeah, you guys try doing it. You guys try doing it in your second language, and we'll see.
True.
Do either one of you have a second language?
Yeah,
by the way?
I got great things. I got Spanish down pat. Jump.
No, you don't, Peter.
No habla español, señorita.
Yeah, no.
But the great thing is, Michelle, when you're doing this stuff correctly, you know, and you're bringing in the full common law, it is just simple statements that you stick to, and you don't get off your script, basically.
Right.
You know,
yeah, I'm going to have to be getting more
you.
into that. I was into that maybe about 2 years ago, and I felt that I had a very good base, but, you know, 2 years and never having really used it, I got to get back into that myself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I was just looking over at my comments page over at my Privatis.Me. Cheryl Cooper says that Dean Clifford probably works for the Internal Revenue Service. She obviously doesn't know who Dean Clifford is. See, that's why I hate comments. People give their 2 cents on these little if they're nice and positive, that's cool. But, you know, folks, if you don't have nothing nice to say, just keep your mouth shut. You know, I mean, this is the type of stuff that makes me crazy.
No, Peter, that's common sense. But that's common sense. People don't have that anymore. It's a very, very rare and treasured commodity. In fact, I was trying to explain to my family, because my father's in the hospital and there are all these rules that you have to follow. And, well, I wasn't following them. And my brother actually chastised me and said, you have to follow this rule. And I said, Stephen, rules were made for people who don't have common sense.
Yep.
So they went ahead and did something stupid, so the need for a rule arose and ruined it for all of us. ruined it for everybody that has common sense. So I don't say that I have common sense anymore. I say I have uncommon sense because I think it's a more accurate depiction of the state of affairs. What do you guys think?
Well, like I say, the ones that give their 2 cents, this is why over on all my YouTubes, you can't leave a comment. You know why? I don't need the world according to Garb skewed view by people who don't know what they're speaking of. And I'm going to tell you straight up, it was like the clown who posted right up under. This is what got me to initiate the no posting dealie because some clown comes in and goes, Peter got away with $80,000 in debt and blah, blah, blah. This is a moron. This is a guy who's giving a skewed view of the world according to Garb. He's obviously never read modern money mechanics. Obviously doesn't understand the hypothecation event and how the birth certificate bonds work and how the bonds work and how hypothecation. He probably doesn't even know what hypothecation is, let alone. Anyways,
how to spell it.
And then he gives us 2 cents. See, but that's a diversion from the rest of my brothers and sisters for helping getting their mind right. Brother Dean Clifford, he's in my Skype room. So, Cheryl, if you're listening, look before you leap and before you open your mouth, at least have the capacity to know what you speak of before you give your 2 cents. I'm not being mean-spirited here. I'm just stating the facts. See, because I don't give my 2 cents on issues. If I can't prove it factually, I shut my pie hole. So I'm not gonna banter on that anymore. But I just get sort of irritated because people always want to give their feedback. They're legends in their own mind. They want to give this, and feedback is one thing, but critical whatever, because you don't even understand what the hell you're saying. See, that's called the programming of the day. That's the dumbing down of the masses to speak before they understand the concept of what they speak of.
Yeah, but Peter, it's all conjecture anyway. It's all hearsay anyway. Each person has their opinion, whether it's based on the programming.
What do you say about opinions, Michelle?
What do I say about opinions?
No, what do they say?
Who's they?
Yeah, well, they is them. Everybody's got one. They all stink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was just trying to get the direction of flow. Anyways,
no, I didn't know that one.
Yeah. Well. Anyways, Cheryl, wasn't mean to call you out, so don't take it personal. Just look before you leap. Brother Dean, he's in my Skype room. We do dialogue via Skype, but we don't talk much. But he's very, very. He's a good man. He's got. He's put his skin in the game, unlike any other. So, that's why I have a hard time people who cast stones of dispersion and not know where they come from. So, please, folks. I don't mind you posting whatever you want over here because I'm not a dictator. But, we're here sharing the love over here. We're not sharing negatives.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's ultimately what bothers you, Peter? That that it's people who are sort of contributing to the negativity rather than building the positivity,
Well,
that's
that's
so
exactly
easy.
what we're taught
it's so
in
easy to
our
criticize.
society. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the negative. Everything when you watch, TV and everything else, and these snide women and these, vindictive people and all these vindictive stories and all this kind of stuff, and these, this attitude, portraying this attitude all the time, and exactly, it's the things that we need to grow up out of.
Yeah, well, Michael and I talk about it, John. It's sort of funny, because that's what his wife watches at the house. Them bitches be slapping each other. That's the mindset. It's what is that? The Cookie, whatever that, or what's that goofy chick from Jersey? Huh?
Snooki's one of them.
Oh, Snooki, Cookie, whatever. Snooki, Cookie, it's all the same. Anyways, sorry, Cookie. No personal foul-meant, but like I told you, my daughters were watching that garbage, and I said, see, those girls are good, bad examples. They have poor impulse control. They have not a friggin' thought God gave a gnat. So, you know what? If you follow that track,
and people don't realize,
but
these
they're
little girls
perfect.
that are growing up and watching this stuff, that is their idols of the day. You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's not
these
like
are their
when we were
role
growing
models.
up. Yeah,
this is what they model themselves.
And they're losers. They're freaking losers. You know why? Because they have no direction of flow, no deductive thought skills, and all they operate on is emotionalism, no deductive reasoning skills.
Yes, but Peter,
it's
this
warring.
is desirable.
It's a warring mentality.
But this is desirable. This is what is wanted.
For whom? For whom?
Well, duh.
Not for me.
No, exactly. But this is what is promoted and celebrated. Look at the antics of let's look at the salaries of people, let's say in the Western world. Who are the highest paid people? Let's see. We've got the sports stars, right? We've got the actors, I guess, right?
Yeah, bad actors, by the way.
How about healers and I don't know, people that care for other people? How about teachers? My gosh, teachers. How about firemen? You know, how about people that make a difference?
Can you imagine if you actually paid a teacher $1 million a year? To teach your children what kind of education they would get at that. You know what I mean? Like the type of technology and the type of books and exactly, it would be a completely different ball game, wouldn't it? But no, we focus on these guys hitting balls with bats and stuff, and
right.
Yeah,
we love being on our knees. We love licking boots, don't we?
Mm.
You know, and when I say we,
again,
it's them. It's not us here, but you know. I hate using the word collective now, because even that word has been bastardized, co-opted. Yeah. Yeah. I just have this image of how things could be, and I know that it's not going to be, because. You know, I think I was maybe 12 or 13 years old, and we had this class in high school, and I don't know, we were talking about different forms of government, and, you know, I sort of I guess the idea of anarchy came up, and I spoke under my breath, and I said, we're not ready for that. And the teacher asked me to speak out loud, and I said, sure. I said, we're not ready for it. And he said, would you like to elaborate? I said, sure. Look around. Do you think we're ready as a society, as a people, as a species, to not have other people telling us what not to do? It would be chaos. Anarchy, in my sense of understanding it, is complete freedom. But again, that word too has been made to have these negative connotations of, you know, street punks and rebellion and throwing rocks and stuff. But, you know, that's not anarchy. But, sorry, I'm on the
well, we got two callers
side.
in the queue still. I forgot all about the callers.
Okay.
Anyways, but now we're almost at break time again. So, anyways, hey, you callers, if you want to hang out, it's all good. No problem. This is what happens when you got three monkeys in the mix handling the same football. Stuff happens. Anyways, it gets away from us. Anyways, it's 7:57. Hey, the two callers, we'll queue you up right after this break. Hey, everybody go do what they do, and they take a break. We're going to have some fun after the call. Thank you.
VerdictProductions.com. Do you have footage you want turned into a video? Weddings, family gatherings, sports games? High-quality video production for any project you have. We also create detailed slideshows if you have information you want to put on YouTube or your website for all to see. Many other services including audio enhancement, music production, and CD mastering for your band. Need a company logo or an ad? No problem. We also specialize in graphic design to make your business or website stand out. Head over to VerdictProductions.com for a quote. Lowest prices on the net guaranteed.
Anyways, welcome back to In the Spirit of Things, folks. At the top of the hour, as usual, we always get some direction of flow going here. Anyways, I just want to throw a quick shout out before we take a caller to Brother Greg at In5D. He double posted me back to back. Let's see, I think the 1st and the 2nd of June on our Saturday show, because apparently he was down for the count for a minute with a little food sickness. Sorry to hear that, Brother Greg. We share the love. A little sodium bicarbonate, clean you right out really quickly as well. Make you a little oxygen rich and get rid of those nasty pathogens. Anyways, on that note, we'll move forward. And 702, I guess you're first in line, first in time. Come on in.
Oh,
hi, Peter?
Our youngest caller.
Oh, no, sorry. Hi, Peter?
Yep.
John, hi. How's it?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. So I had contacted Peter earlier today via Skype, and I was asking him about what he felt about adverse possession.
Yeah, Michael and I, we were talking about it, and I said I wasn't going to probably be doing these type of question and answer sessions over here. That would be sort of private, because it's sort of like giving legal advice over the phone. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. It's anyways. So adverse possession, I don't think much of it. We're going to change up everything. We're going to do things a whole lot different where we don't have to worry about adverse possession. We're just going to claim the name, so to speak, with some other documents and informations, and give them a little uphill climb on a different level because they think they own everything, and we're going to give them irrevocable proof they don't. See, that there lies the problem, because you have the dead entity claiming everything on your behalf because you gave it over unilaterally via signature. Well, we'll just start removing that presumption as well, and that's what we're working on as we speak. Anyway, this is Sarah. For those who didn't know, this is Sarah. Anyways, but
I already removed the presumption in regards to the marriage and the voter registration. And funny thing, when I removed the presumption for the marriage, the clerk decided to contact me back, give me some advice that I should go seek the help of an attorney if I want to get a divorce. And I'm like, responded back, letting them know I didn't ask for a response. It's very clear what's in the documents. Just go ahead and file the documents, please. I couldn't believe that they actually responded back to me. So, but I did that part. And going back to the adverse possession, my personal feeling behind it is that I don't understand why we have all these empty homes and all these homeless people, and these homes are being owned by the bank, whoever, but nobody's living in them. And then it got me to thinking about Crown land too, and how all this land on the earth is owned by a few handful of people, the Queen being one of owning the majority of the land, like 1/6 of the land on the earth is owned by the Queen. And I'm thinking to myself, how is that possible? What gives them, these particular people, that kind of authority to own this land?
Right. Somebody died and gave them right of title to what God created.
Mm-hmm. I think, Peter, they actually call it the divine right of kings. I was struggling the other day to figure out the right words. This was in history class in Montreal. Picture it, 1982. The divine right of kings. And our teacher was explaining to us that royalty are special and different than everybody else.
Yeah,
and
well,
they have
you know
what's
what?
known as
See, I'm not buying that, Michelle.
Peter, if I had known you back then, that would anyway.
Anyways, it's like the Catholic Church telling me that guy who puts his pants on the same with me with a white collar on has some sort of divine inspiration as a middleman for me and my Creator. No,
John, we're going
We're
going to 11. Peter's cranking it to 11 on the Ranto meter tonight.
Well, I get excited because, when you give over your power, that means somebody died and has appointed themselves king on your behalf. This is what we got. This is where we got to change the mind. It's really simple. We got to quit giving over the power, quit consenting. And Sarah, I'm glad that you've initiated some steps already. That's a good start. Just stand fast, Brother Michael. Our creation mode on the next level. I
would love to get into this creation mode. I'm all over this. I'm so ready to move beyond this being owned, even to that point where we can't even own our own land. Someone else is owning all the land. all the resources. They say we have limited resources, but when you really think about it, no, we don't have limited resources. We have people who are controlling the land, making the resources limited unless they can get the right, amount of moolah for it.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's
well
just said. It's just like big oil. I've discussed this already on some shows back. I was talking about they have more oil than God up there on the northern slopes of Alaska. They capped and tapped it back in 1975. I know a pastor that worked up on those northern slopes. And by the way, oil is renewable. It's not dinosaur turds. It's not dadgum. All this. See, even my brother-in-law, he's an educated man, college educated. He was in the oil patch for 30 years, and I had to school his sorry ass. And I said, hey, Jimmy, let me share something with you. What is oil? He goes, fossil fuel. I says, bull crap. Here, let me show you a new paradigm. And I had him read this article on oil is abiotic, A-B-I-O-T-I-C, and what that means is it's a renewable source. The crust is forever moving. The direction of flow is far as underneath the crust, and it's always creating new oil. It's a scam, folks. You've been duped your entire life again, and I can prove that. I'm going to post that information on the northern slopes of Alaska. We got 12 times more oil than all the Middle Eastern countries combined just out on the northern slopes of Alaska. Anyways, oil is a renewable source. It's not a fossil fuel, folks. I'm going to have to go find the article on abiotic so everybody can get their minds right because they sold us a lie again. And I'm not mad at y'all, folks. I'm just sharing the love. They've sold us. Here we go with the propaganda machine.
I'm gonna teach another lie too, Peter. I was learning about when the fiat money took over and stuff like that, and you know how they say, "In God we trust." But what if I were to tell you that God was an abbreviation for gold, oil, and diamonds?
Yeah.
Interesting. But Sarah, to get back to the points that you made about the creation of this lack, that's exactly it. It's an illusion.
They created it. Yes, it is an illusion.
And it is in every single system. It is in the monetary system. They inflate the value. They deflate it. They
inverse.
Alter the weather to the point where everything now is monetized and commodified. Your eyes have a value on your life insurance policy if you have one. Your legs, if you lose them, have a dollar value. If you die, your life is worth a certain amount of money. Every single plant, tree, piece of land, river, everything everything has a value. And this is why the word commerce, for me, I'm done with it personally, and I am making changes in my life to get out of commerce. Of course, I still have to have one foot in because I do buy food, I do use public transportation, etc. But I'm looking for a new world where people will be giving what it is that they wish to be giving. For me, I know it's going to be energetically. The way that I wish to contribute is to offer people healing sessions, because that seems to be an ability of mine, and I'm still looking for other abilities. For other people, it will be construction, trades, they will raise chickens. Look, it's about reclaiming the lives that we want to have and not asking for permission and doing so in peace,
I'd like to continue further with one other thing, too. The illusion is even more deeper than that. I mean, they sit there and make it seem like, besides just the limited resources, let me take it a step further from there, that we don't have such things as free energy, which would at that point completely nullify the limited resources. We would have an abundance of resources at that point.
All right.
But they don't even... Right. It's, again, the propaganda and the control situation, because they own us. We're blind to it. We just, we have to follow this system. We can't go ahead and use what's really available to us.
Well, hey,
and the scientists have all been bought and paid many times over. It is so very difficult now to find true, authentic science. Science, for me, is somebody holding an open question, not jumping to conclusions about the hypothesis that is set before him. We do not have that anymore. Scientists have been bought by corporations to determine and to show what it is they wish to show. So you have results are skewed. They're not reliable. They're not dependable. You always go back to the source, and it's the money telling you what the money wants you to believe, basically.
Yep.
And I don't believe the money anymore. There, I said it. I do not believe the money. The money exists because we all believe it. The money exists
I don't believe it either.
because we all believe it. And the reason that we have our system now is because we all uphold this. It is our God. You even see mention of God on these dollar bills. It is the God, And people live their lives in fear of lack, of not having enough of these dollar bills. They live their lives paying off a mortgage in French, mortgage. It's death. Gage is a bet, like a bet, a pledge. And so basically, you bought the farm. You know the expression to buy the farm?
Yep.
Okay, that's when you die. So by the time you're dead, perhaps you will have bought the farm, literally. And I realized this some while ago, and I decided I was not going to be slaving, because for me my trade is plastering, and it's extremely physically demanding, and it's dirty and dusty, and I literally sweated. There was some blood too, and there were some tears. So blood, sweat, and tears in my trade. And I knew the value of those couple of dollars that I would earn. But the thing is, no more,
We really need to break free from it. We really need to break free from it. The system has made us slaves.
And I didn't want to be...
Oh, sorry. We need to
be... we're cross-talking, folks.
We need to learn
come on.
We need to learn to be responsible and independent for ourselves. Basically, the system has made us dependent on it, and it's not benefiting us anymore. It's just a control, fear system.
Right. That's why they don't want you doing aquaponics,
and this is my rant, Peter.
Creating windmills and all this other stuff.
Peter, this is my rant, I guess, tonight. Sarah, I think it happens in baby steps. It's one step after the other, because if you were to throw yourself into all the different things and doing rescission on this, that, the other thing, and oh, by the way, I own my vehicle, it's private property, and learning how to talk to cops who stop you and all this stuff, everything at the same time, I think your brain would explode. I don't think anyone can handle it all at once. So I think it's one step at a time, and we learn as we go through it. If we do nothing, we will not learn. But if we go through it, we learn. And I think that's been an issue with certain callers who take issue with, okay, well, you don't have anything to do with the traffic situation. Well, or what about mortgage or this and that? In other words, they're demanding answers for the whole big picture. Well, the thing is, there is no whole big picture right now, and we're going to go through it step by step. And it's very easy to sit back and criticize those who are making efforts. In fact, the ones who criticize are the ones who don't want to make efforts. And what Peter is doing with Michael and John and Andrea and Zach and me and Dan and the whole nucleus, Cookie and Susan, and geez, I really hope I didn't forget anybody's name, and myself, what we're doing is we're building this thing together, and we're actually looking for help so that we can keep on going. And I made an appeal on the last call. We're looking for somebody who can help. I guess I called it a networking specialist. I guess that would be a younger person in their 20s who's familiar with all of the websites and how to get our links up on other websites so we can generate more traffic and get more people aware of why we're in the situation that we're in right now, Or, anybody who wishes to step forward. I'm sure there are typos on the website, or a mistake here or there. If somebody wants to offer their time and go through the whole website and, point out the different mistakes, that would be a help too. Just whatever it is that people wish to help out with, that would be amazing.
No, I know. I already take the time to post when you guys come on. I usually post on my Facebook and even in my own website if I'm writing about something that seems of a particular interest. I'll go ahead and post links to from your site as well.
Thank you.
Oh, sure, anytime. The other thing, though, when this particular subject in regards to claiming back the land that is, should be rightfully the people's, not the Queen and 5 other people who own I want to say more than 3/4 of the earth so far. This should be for the people. This shouldn't be for them. They need to step down, and anything that I can do possibly to give the people back the land that belongs to them, I would be more than interested. Even the homes. I don't believe in homeless people living on the streets when there are perfectly fine empty homes for people to live in all over the world.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Sarah, but the way things are set up now is the people who do so-called own their land are called natives, First Nations people here in Canada, and they're reserves. And it is a prison, basically. And when they step off their land, they do not have their benefits, their so-called benefits. They don't pay taxes, but they do receive other certain benefits for being First Nations peoples. But that's a whole other rant. That's at least a 20-minute rant, and I don't want to get into that right now.
Well, it's quite well orchestrated, eh? You get your land, it's not owned by you. Don't pay your taxes, you'll find out how much you own it. And you get these mortgages that, like you say, death pledge. First, we'll give it to you for 30. I'm surprised they don't give it to you for 40 years. And as soon as you miss one payment or get sick in 10 years or 5 years or 25 years, you lose everything. It's just what you thought you owned. It's a wicked little scam. It really is. And that's why, I decided with my life, I lived within my means. I bought the house that I could afford at the time and built as I went, and there's never been a mortgage on this land, my cars, I've never had credit, any of that kind of stuff. I live within my means. I don't drive expensive cars or any of that kind of stuff. And, but if I get sick for a week or two, if I get sick for a month, a year, 2 years, I'm not going to lose anything.
Yeah.
I'm with Michelle in regards to the money thing. I don't believe in this money thing either. That is the biggest illusion right there to me. Yes, it is. Biggest illusion to me ever. I'm sorry. I don't understand how people pay money for things that are free. I don't see any other animal on this earth paying rent or a mortgage or, I don't see them buying food at the grocery store. We must be the most stupidest creatures.
Well, it is too. If I could just sit here and print some dollar bills and get people to loan them off of me and then pay me back, that's a great scam. I don't know why I can't do that, but these banks have figured it out. And it's just
that would be
silly
fraud,
and stupid.
I think.
Yeah.
According to their rules, that would be fraud.
Yes, because it's their rules. It has nothing to do with us. Who are we? We just,
they make the rules. They don't apply to them. They make them, but they don't follow them. Come on, guys. Smarten up, everybody.
I wanted to put a shout out for Dean. By the way, he's doing an awesome job out there. And for those of us who don't know anything about Dean, he's quite the person on the news lately.
Yeah. No, he's out there, like you said. He's in the game, and he's out there, staying in honor, and and he's out there trying to show people how he's doing. He's not keeping it to himself. He's out there putting videos. He's walking the walk and talking the talk, and some of us are making mistakes and whatever, but at least he's out there trying, and he's out there figuring out the mistakes. And
well, like I say, for all the limp noodles out there who almost got no skin in the game, hey, go sit back and do nothing. and you can stay in that paradigm. That's a choice, free will and choice, to do nothing and then cast stones at your brothers who are doing heavy lifting because they're not doing it just the way you would do it. Well, hey, maybe you can show us how you would do it. See, that's what I love about people who give their 2 cents. They are so good and quick to give their 2 cents, but what's your solution? And matter of fact, I posted in many a Skype room on people sort of beating my brakes off and saying, oh, well, great. Hey, maybe I missed something here. Maybe you can share with me what you have up your sleeve for a solution, because I sure as hell, maybe I'm just missing something. So
Peter, I'd like to add a comment.
I know. Let me finish, please.
Sorry.
Free to share with me what your solution is to what I'm doing wrong, so that maybe I'll get some clarity. I said, because apparently you know a hell of a lot more than I do. See, that's the shit that makes me nuts. People who give their 2 cents and have nothing but contempt, and they show contempt prior to investigation and aren't willing even to get, okay, you know what I say? Get on a shovel and help me dig this damn ditch and show me how it's done, you know, because if you're, otherwise, you know what you are? You're just an armchair quarterback and you ain't worth a damn flip. Next. Sorry,
I'd like to add something to that, Peter. Yeah. There's this great comedian, this American comedian called Louis C.K., and he has this great stand-up routine. He basically just goes on this hysterical rant about young people who just basically stand around and they're consumers, they consume, and all they can do is discuss what they like and what they don't like. In other words, they have nothing of value to contribute yet, but they have become experts on what they like and what they don't like. In other words, to tie this in with your with your rant there, they're children. They're children. Yeah. And this is the thing. Most people are children. To become an adult requires a whole lot of awareness. It is so much easier to sit back and be one of those people who knows what they like and what they don't like, and who form opinions and criticize. It's very easy to do that because there's no responsibility. You just say whatever you want and off you go. But to be an adult actually means that there is some substance.
Yeah, you got to get on the shovel and do a little digging so you can fall in the ditch and get your ass a little dirty.
That's right. So you know the value of the thing that you're contributing to because your sweat is involved in it, you know. So that's the difference. That's how I see human children and human adults. And I think the most, you know, and people speak of ascension here. I'm going to go on just a little sideways detour. People speak of, in the spiritual realm, they discuss ascension and all this stuff and moving on to another dimension. No. You know what? I think most people can aspire to is human adulthood. If you're not even an adult, I wouldn't even be wasting my time trying to aspire to ascension and oneness, perfect unity, whatever people are discussing in the spiritual marketplace right now. You know?
Yeah.
Just being nice to one another would be great. Having responsibility would be great. You know?
I love your comment, Michelle, because that's what I write about in my website.
Thank you.
I write about ascension. So I'm going to let you guys... I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go ahead and take off. I got a little one who was looking for me just a moment ago, but I just really enjoyed the conversation.
Hey,
you guys are awesome.
Hey, Sarah, just bust out the rolling pin in the ether. That fixes that problem.
Oh yeah, every day, every moment, I'm totally rolling it out. I'm like, I can't believe this is going on. What the no? How can you see this?
Yeah, I put them under. Hey, matter of fact, my producer's going to want me to come to her house so I can put her little one under.
All right, there will be no putting under of any little ones.
I'm just playing. Please. I got to share the love because I'm the funny guy tonight. Anyways, hey, we got 512. We'll take 5. Yes, Sarah, thank you very much. Yeah,
thank you.
All right, have a great night. We're going to bring 512 for a quickie before 8:30. We got 4 minutes. Hope come on in. The water's fine. Well, let's get it on. It's Saturday night and you're live.
Are you there? Hi, 512. Go ahead. Are you there?
All right.
We can't hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Is the Sprint commercial? Oh, okay. You can I guess we can unmute them. We'll let them through before the break. We got 3 minutes. They're not responding. Well, since they're not responding, they must be dead, so we'll move on. Next. I'm serious.
A little bit shy. All right.
All right, no more callers. Hey, we're all zeroed out in the room. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay.
512, we're sorry. Yeah, we're sort of trying to bring up the rear. Anyways, hey, folks, matter of fact, we're going to go to break early because I'm sort of caught flat-footed. Hell, I haven't even gotten into my content on the Facebook page that I posted. Talk about, hey, that's what I love about this show. It gets tentacles, it grows, and it goes where it's supposed to. That's called direction of flow, folks. Anyways, hey, everybody stand fast. Do what you do on break. We're going to go to break. We'll catch you on the rebound. Thank you.
Privatis.Me. No longer do we need to hire lawyers, worry about past debt, or count on doctors to fix our health problems. Privatis.Me, specializing in real education about the legal system, administratively eliminating your past debt, and teaching you simple, natural ways to restore your health. Join today for free. Learn how to live in private and allow yourself to overcome and stop living in fear. Become a paid member for just $20 per month and receive Peter and Michael's $300 debt termination package for free. Privatis.me. Privatis.me. Take a walk on the private side.
Anyways, hey, folks, welcome back to In the Spirit of Things. And, yeah, I'm going to throw a shout-out to Brother Zach because he really shows the love over at our house, too. Matter of fact, we got him double posted over at Privatis.me, folks. Verdict Productions, he's a master of his own domain. He has skills beyond my reproach. I have no clue to do what he does, and he really, he does beautiful things. He shared with me a little bit earlier, that it's sort of like me. I do get a lot of people trying to draw my time, and they think I have unlimited resources and I have nothing but time, and I don't. My breath that I breathe, that I give forward, it's energy. I give my energy forth to whom I choose, and I do share the love on multiple levels, but not everybody has carte blanche authority to come through my door to draft me for performance, for lack of a better term. So it's sort of like I'm going to share a little bit. So, Brother Zach, we love you. You are the man, and we got you posted. Michael posted a JPEG over at our site. So, folks, if you're looking to get stuff done on videos and it's all posted on his link. It's beautiful information. He's created a really beautiful site to share with my brothers and sisters who need a little heavy lifting on different levels on putting information together to get it out into the domain. So, anyways, on that note, I just wanted to cover a little bit, because I get a lot of this lately. When are you going to deal with the mortgage thing? When are you going to deal with this thing? When are you going to deal with that thing? You know what? This is what I'm going to say. Until my brothers and sisters are willing to take their little baby steps and remove the primary presumptions that we started with, because this is ground zero, you're not ready to go to step D. You can't get to step D if you don't go to step A. If you're not willing to go to step A, you do not get to pass go. You do not get to collect $200. This is the point here is, if you're not willing to do the little things, you'll never get to the big things. That's the point. You can't get free and unencumbered if you're not willing to remove the presumptions on a minimal, simple level. And you're saying, well, Nick, I don't need to busy myself with all that. You sure as hell do, because they're going to beat your brakes off because you're warring with them because you haven't removed the presumption and you're a double-minded man or a woman. So
exactly,
if they're not willing to do the little things, they're screwed. You can't get to the next step until you get the little step. That's why Michelle and I and you, we talk about these little bridges we get over. If you're not willing to go over the little bridge, you don't get to go over the big bridge. You're going to be stuck on the other side. I promise. So what Michael and I do, and I do get a lot of negatives, people, trying to suck the wind out of my room, and I just don't feed that energy. I let them banter on, and they're not ready yet, and there's a lot of people who aren't ready yet, and they got to stay on the other side. That's a sad state of affairs, but I've spoken this multiple times before. A lot of people are going to have to experience a whole boatload of pain, and no, I didn't mean to get in the Admiralty when I said that, but, hey, it fits. They're going to experience a boatload of pain until they get their mind right, and I mean it, getting their mind right. because they're so busy with the smoke and mirrors game, they're not willing to do the little things to get to the big thing. So for those, you're impotent, you're incapacitated, and you haven't come through the front door. This is why I'm doing this this curriculum. I mean, I am doing major heavy lifting because I want to give you the straight path, no smoke and mirrors, to come to the other side, to get clarity, to understand how you get back your unconsent and quit consenting, but you can't do it unless you're willing to come through steps A through Z, which is the 8-week curriculum. If you're not willing to come through the 8-week curriculum, guess what? You're probably not going to get free because you're still going to be stuck between those 2 points between your ears, the gray area. And I'm not being mean-spirited here, folks, when I speak. I'm talking the truth. It takes a concerted effort, a little carrying your own water to actually get over the other side. It is not my job to deal with people sending me their documents and reviewing their documents. All the documents are procedurally correct on the site. If you find a typo, then fix the damn thing. You know what I say? Because you know what, Michael and I are doing huge, heavy lifting, and it seems like everybody's just looking to find, great. I love it when somebody finds a mistake. That means you are actually reading the damn document. Maybe we put it there on purpose. Anyways, I didn't mean to be ranting, but at the same time, I'm pretty stressed out. I'm pretty tired.
Yeah,
Peter, let me make a comment there. We'll get back to, right from the beginning, we have to learn, unlearn, and relearn, and that is the thing. To live in the private is not a 5-minute paper you can read and go, oh, I'm going to live in the private now. I read something off of this website. You have to know it, live it, breathe it, and eat it. It is so easy for them to recontract with you if you don't know who you are, and that's why we keep saying that. I heard that a lot. You don't know who you are, and I used to sit to myself, what the heck are they talking about? I don't know who I am. I know who I am. You know what I mean? But you really don't when it comes to this commerce and when it comes to private, living in the private and common law and all this kind of stuff. You do have to get the foundation, start off small, take in the chunks as you go, and as that one progresses and you learn and learn and learn, next thing you know, you understand the more complicated stuff. But you can't just start off with the complicated stuff and not have, your basic mathematics in living in the private and expect to have these things go away. And you send the paper and, well, they sent me something back and I responded back and now everything's gone to shit. Well, these are little things that we live every day that we know, like second nature. We don't recontract. We don't accept their mail. We don't do any of these things. But if you don't live it, breathe it, and be that, you can get binded up. And that's why Privatis is there with the step-by-step and all this kind of stuff, with the starting off real simple and basic. And some people, are going to join the site and be like, oh, I know all this crap. I don't need to know this.
Oh, yeah.
But, just like anything, I can read a book once, twice, 3 times, and every time I read it, I learn something new, because you don't get it in the first go-around. You don't, you know what I mean? So there's always something to learn. Even if you think you know it all, there's always something you learn.
I'm going to give my 2 cents, but it actually has, it's worth every bit of 2 cents. Michelle, I know you want to interject, but I got to interject this. I had a lady join the site 3 days ago, and she wants her money back. She said the templates are just, the templates are all just, what do you call that, samples. I said, apparently you don't know what links to click on. I said, here, I'll take you. I spent an hour of my breath and my time and my energy showing her where the damn templates page is. This is why I'm going to be doing a YouTube video showing everybody where every stinking cupboard is in the full members area. That's next. That'll be my next heavy lift. And because, this lady was showing contempt prior to investigation. Oh, yeah, she knew everything, John. She was the master of her own domain. I said, well, what the hell are you doing at my house? And I asked her that. I said, and then she got mad because, see, she gave over to the homeowners association, and they signed contracts with them, and they came through willy-nilly, and they paved all those people's homeowner association driveways and sent them a bill for $4,000. Well, gee, guess what? You binded your ass up in a contract with the homeowners association that allowed them to do that. Even though they're patting their pocket, they're doing a dirty deed and all this other stuff, you still gave over. We never got to that part of the subject because she was too busy telling me how much she knew.
Exactly. And, that's the thing.
She can't find her ass with both hands at my house over on the templates page. And she's telling me they're all sample pages. I said, I don't think so. Let me go take a look. And then I click on a link, and then I download it, and I send it to her box. I said, does that look like a sample to you, ma'am? No. See, this is the type of crap that makes me absolutely nuts, and I'm not going to argue with people. No, I'm not going to banter with you. And she doesn't even know how to read the disclaimer, John. So I made a copy of our disclaimer that she signed over when she came over to the site, and I made her go read it. I said, well, when you're done, let me know. And I haven't heard a word out of her after the fact because there are no refunds. It's not because we're ripping anybody off. It's because you came over with the full knowledge and a forethought. But see, this is the problem with the world. Nobody reads the damn thing, John, and then they say, well, no, I don't want to, hey, listen to me. Let me finish, please. Once she gets in my freaking door, brother, she can download every damn template on that site and use it. It has value, and then claim that she couldn't find it or whatever, and then I'm screwed because she's saying, I couldn't do this, and this. Well, you know what? I can't prove that you didn't download every damn package on my site and are deciding to go into business for yourself on the side.
Exactly.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I say, this is where I'm coming from, folks. I'm just really, I'm Michael and I are stressed. We are two men. We are literally doing major renovations to the whole site, education, direction of flow, and all I get is a bunch of damn stone throwers. If you're a stone thrower, stay on the other side of the damn river. You're not welcome at the house. And I know that I'm sounding gruff tonight, but you know what? Because I get to deal with it. Nobody's sitting at my desk dealing with everything I got to deal with that comes across my desk on the whiners, what the world calls incompetence, imbeciles, and children, because they're not ready. They're not emotionally ready. They're not responsible ready. They're not any ready. So you know what? They got to go suffer some more pain, and then they'll get their mind right, I promise. But for those that are ready, I promise you, I will give you everything I got to get you to the other side of the bridge if you're willing to help me by carrying a little bit of your own water.
Well, it's funny, Peter, most members shouldn't even be sending an email to you for at least the first 30 to 60 days anyway, because it can take them that long at least to go through the information and all the education that's on the site. You know what I mean? And until you've done at least that, you shouldn't be, because all that's going to be answered anyway. All those questions that you have that you want to get your 15-second Mickey D's package meal to you is going to be all answered plus more if you just go through.
Yeah, matter of fact, brother, I did have a brother who asked a question, and you know what? I got to give this brother kudos because he come back. He goes, yep, I'm sorry, I'm poured out of the Mickey D's mindset 20-minute drive-through mentality. Had I been paying attention, I would have found out before I even asked you the damn question. And this guy came back with a beautiful apology because he had his mind right. See, that's a brother who he's in my nucleus. He gets to play ball because he gets it. He understands that he's been spoon-fed bullshit, more shit, and piled high and deep crap his entire life, and he didn't take the time to actually look to the next level to speak before he spoke. In other words, he put the cart before the horse, for lack of a better term. But that's the mindset. Everybody wants the instant fix. Folks, if you want an instant fix, don't come to my house. You don't belong here, because there is no instant fix and there is no magic wand. I get questions every day, the 50 questions. I don't do 50 questions anymore, folks. I don't have the time.
Well, Hey, Peter, I'll tell you, there is a magic wand once you fill up your spell book.
Yeah.
And with knowledge.
Right.
There certainly is a magic wand.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. But I've done my due diligence. I've studied, and I went full bore, and and I'm still learning.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I've went up against these nefarious ones in their course and everything else, and I'm still putting in at least 3-4 hours a day learning stuff that I didn't know the day before.
Yeah, well, somebody else wants them to carry their water. Hey, folks, if you're looking for somebody to carry your water, we carried the water 90% of the way. You got to do the other 10%, and it's really not hard. This is why I love my brothers and sisters enough to actually do a curriculum class, because this is going to give you a direction of flow. We're going to cut away all the smoke and mirrors really quick, and you're going to be able to get your mind right if you're willing to do the bare minimum. If you're not, then go back to sleep, and the nefarious ones will be glad to rape your estates, the beneficial interest, until your butt falls off, and they will. I promise, because you've given over. That's a freedom of choice. Yes.
Peter, hi. It's Michelle.
Yeah, who are you? I didn't even know you were on the call.
I know. My line got cut off there for a few minutes, and I tuned in again. I tuned in again and was astonished, although actually I'm astonished that I'm still surprised to know that your rentometer goes past 11. That was a 12.
I know.
And I feel your passion. John, I just wanted to mention when you were it's like you pulled the ideas out of my head because I was going to contribute. You were mentioning you have to know who you are to use these processes. I was going to mention in the spiritual, Peter, you were mentioning people who sit back and criticize and don't contribute in any way, and want the 5-minute fix. The thing is, if these people use these processes, more than likely they will be in a warring mentality.
Yep.
And in the etheric, when you fight war with more war, you are just going to receive more of what you are contributing to. But that's why it's so important to know who you are. I am not war. I am love. And when I approach people that way, when I approach events and situations in my life that way, I receive love in return.
Yeah.
It's important that people know that the documents, the processes that are available at Privatis.Me, they are peaceful documents. There is no war. There is no asking
permission.
But I was actually going to say, yes, that's true. There's no asking permission, but there's no asking of monetary compensation. There's no fee schedule. There is no fine set up. There's no retribution. There is no war. But if you go in with a warring mentality, I am not sure in the etheric if these documents will work. If you will gain peace through war. I don't think it works that way in the etheric. So if some of the listeners choose to use these documents, but they have that childish mentality and one of war and retribution, I don't think they're going to work. So it's very important, number one, to learn who you are. And most people haven't a clue. For myself, and I only speak for myself, I am love. And for me, that's the biggest word. Where I come from, love is the biggest word.
I totally agree with you, Michelle. When it comes to peace and love and stuff like that, because I seen it. When I was in their courtrooms, they came at me with absolute hate and disgust at first. You know what I mean? Arresting me, throwing me out of their courtrooms, putting me in jail, and all this kind of stuff at first. And I stayed peaceful the whole time. I'm here in peace and honor, and you are violating and trespassing my rights. And I stayed in peace and honor the whole time. And the more and more I had to go back to their courts, the more and more you could see the respect, and you could see that wow, this guy is, he's really talking the talk. He's really here in peace and honor. And even at the end of all this, I had one of the police officers come up and shake my hand and stuff like that, and apologizing and for violating my rights, and really concerned that because he got himself an education as well through all this.
Right,
and,
you transmuted all those energies.
Exactly.
You transmuted all those energies. Go ahead, John.
And because of that, I'll never have a problem with him. I'll never have to file a claim against that officer because he came to me as a man and apologized.
Right.
And you know what I mean? And didn't understand what he was doing, at the time. And so, I can respect even that coming from someone who warred against me to forgive them for grievous trespasses against me.
There's that point of contact that's established, right? Man to man, there's a point of contact, because all of us now, we no longer have points of contact between each other. Everyone is plugged into their devices. Right, there's a separation, and the separation is from each person feels a separation. There's separation between people, and there's this separation that we feel from our very world, the very earth that supports us. And all of this is by design. and it's for us to reestablish those points of contact. First of all, and it starts with reestablishing those points of contact within yourself. And then you reestablish points of contact with other people. You recognize their humanity. Say hello to people. You know, it's not just a cashier at the food store. It's somebody who's doing work, who has feelings and emotions, and you know, might be having a bad day. And look, everything that you do changes everything around you. You know what's a really good we've forgotten that.
You know, it's a real good one to do to people that really catches them all off guard. Just ask them, how are they doing twice in a row? You know, you go into a store and you see the guy there, you know, and you're like, hey, how you doing? He's like, oh, good. Just look at him again and say, no, how are you doing? How's your life treating you? You know what I mean? Really, show that you actually want to know what he's doing. And I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 times people will say, well, you know, blah, 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 I'm glad you asked. You know what I mean? Like, you get a few shy ones that don't want nothing to do with that. But, yeah, you'll see the change in their mannerisms with you and all this kind of stuff, and you'll see how their body language will change, and how you know what I mean.
Because we're all starved for human contact.
Right.
We're all starved.
And I had irrevocable proof when I went to the dentist's office. Even though I didn't give over via consent any crap on the paper, I went in love, and you know what? I had that dentist eating out of my hand. She was, I said, I hope you're not going to crawl on my chest and pull this damn thing out. I said, that's off limits. I mean, I was bantering with her. I was showing my human side. I was telling her about my Navy background and the medical side of the house. So she felt very, very comfortable with me. But the whole point, I was, even the front office, the front line to get to the back, to get to the doctor, I was giving them the love. And they were saying, this guy's not normal. He's not, He filled this thing out, and he didn't fill it out, but he's like, it's all good, and okay, no problem. And I mean, I'm smiling and I'm jovial because I'm touching these people's hearts and minds by how I respond to them and treat them. And as long as you treat me right, I give you the same due respect and treat you with love, honor. And it's amazing what happens. I'm the bubbly bastard in the room. I mean, Magilla Gorilla goes in there, and he's sharing the love. I mean, they're fixing to nuke my face and take shots of my mouth. And I said, geez, here we go. I said, I hope this ain't going to make me glow. My kids don't like it when I glow. Anyways, I had her laughing. You know, folks, you can disarm people with humor and show the love and go into a different. So, I mean, everybody, I know on these shows they hear me rant, and because they don't see this side of me. Nobody really, only my direct nucleus can see my true heart. But I'm hoping my true heart comes over on these shows. But my rant is not of anger, folks. It's of frustration because I'm wanting my brothers and sisters to get it. I see the pain. I see all this. I want to fix it, and I get frustrated with myself because I can't fix everybody's stuff in 2 seconds. But you know what? This is where, you know what? It's not my job to fix everybody's stuff in 2 seconds. It's your job to fix your stuff in 2 seconds. And it's not going to be just 2 seconds. But I promise, if you meet me halfway, I'm going to give you my best every time. As long as I'm breathing, you're going to get my best. And I don't know it all, and I can make mistakes. I'm, you know, a man having a human experience, and I hate the word human because it's color of man. But the point I'm trying to make is, you know what, if you're looking for perfect people, they don't exist. You know, we all have our flaws. We all are walking upright, and we're breathing. So guess what? We make mistakes. But you know what? The beautiful part is, like, when I make a mistake with my children, I can fix it. I go give them a hug. I give them a peck on the cheek. I resolve the issue where it lies. If I came off, because I am the bantering, I am a Magilla Gorilla. My kids know it, but I get them laughing, you know, because but I do show the love, and they know that where my heart stands. But I can bark. You know, hang around with Marines for 10 years, and you can be a barking Marine too. Anyways, I really do have love in my heart, and that's probably more. It bubbles over, and I get emotional. I go to ground. The insane train has left the station, folks. I'm trying to get you off the damn train. I'm trying to help you get, if you come through this house, you get to get off that damn train if you choose to. It's all about freedom of choice.
Well, like I say, I've been here since the beginning with you, Peter. You know, and we launched the new show together, and you were there right from the beginning with me, when all this happened. Even when we had our losses. It wasn't you weren't in it about it for media coverage or for trying to get publicity. It was you were there to help another fellow brother out. And even when we did have the losses and the negatives and stuff like that, you stuck beside me and you stuck beside the family, and you were there. And I always said, and you even said as well, that we'll get a victory out of this. We will figure out a way, and we will get this done. And we both stayed positive, both stayed in peace, and we did it. And here we are now. We're living proof.
Yeah.
Maybe we should cover that again, what happened, so people know. We get a lot of new callers and stuff like that. They don't listen to the old calls.
Right.
A little background on what we had to go through and how we came out the other side.
We should do another show just on that, covering all the details of that. Peter, we're 4 minutes out, but I wanted to say I know you. And you have a beautiful heart. You're extremely generous and kind. And what you're doing, it's true. You mentioned people don't know you as the man. I do.
Yep.
And the discussion that we had, you were feeling pulled in all these different directions. And we sort of figured out it would be best for you, us, the group, to focus on just one foot in front of the other, and that those who did have their issues would be following. And it was a major issue for you because you couldn't help everybody. And you're going through your whole shift also, and it feels like we all are. But just before the music kicks on, I just wanted to throw out an idea for the listeners. We were talking about making the world that we want to live in and sort of transmuting the lower energies, making points of contact with people. Listeners, maybe this week, if you see an opportunity, or even not, create your own opportunity to make a point of contact with somebody else. And when I say that, I mean you don't even have to. The person doesn't even have to be there. For example, I live in an apartment building, and from time to time, I'll leave coins in the 4 machines, and I'll write a little note saying, "I love it when the machines are clean, and please enjoy the day. This laundry's on me." And it doesn't have to involve money. It could be anything. It could be holding a door open for somebody. It could be making a positive comment to someone. But I would love to hear the experiment, what it is that you did to bring about a change in the world through a tiny, tiny action or a few words. I'd love to hear back from the listeners. I guess tomorrow, or maybe even on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, and my rant-o-meter will be turned down.
Okay. Got it all out, Peter?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm wore out now. I wore myself out. McGillic Gorilla is now...
Beat this chest again.
McGillic Gorilla just became a chimp. Not a chump, a chimp.
You wore yourself out. How do you think we feel?
Oh, my goodness.
Andrea's blood pressure went up like 50 points.
I saw that. Anyways, it's all good. Folks, tomorrow maybe we'll get some content on the Facebook page, just to show you what's going on in your world, to all our nucleus that are doing all this heavy lifting: Cookie, Susan, Dan, Johnny, Michelle, myself, Michael, especially Michael. Poor brother Michael. If I could, I'm trying to offset his load. I know he's loaded up. And Andrea and Zach, hey, we are the nucleus. If we don't get it done, nobody else will do it anyway. So, folks, we love you. Anyways, I don't know what was private.
That was for Andrea.
Yeah.
That was for Andrea.
I'll send out my love to the listeners, too. You know what I mean? Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for listening. keep coming out. Like I say, we're always adding new stuff to Privatis. We're always going to the next envelope, and we're bringing forward some higher education. So get your other education on there, Privatis. Start studying so that we can start giving out the more broad-minded stuff.
And it's really not studying. It's actually, folks, it's fun. It's educational and fun. I love peeling back the curtain. The more I find out, the more excited I get. And this is it's ongoing.
And it should be exciting and fun. And if it's not, you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong business.
You're doing it wrong.
You are.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, right. You're holding your mouth open wrong. Whatever. Anyways, folks, hey, you ever see that? Somebody. Anyways, I won't even go into this. Anyways, folks, we love you, and we'll catch you on the rebound. We'll be back tomorrow night, folks. Come on down, get in the spirit things. We'll share the love. Have a great night, and we'll catch you on the rebound. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Thank you, John.
Love you guys.
Thank you,
Good
Michelle.
night.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're listening to In the Spirit of Things on I Am Free Will Radio. Join us on our Blog Talk radio station every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday night, live from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. To find all the links we mention on the show and to stay up to date about when we go live on BTR, make sure you connect with us on our social sites. Follow us on Twitter at handle Privatis.Me. You can also friend us, like us, or join our open group on Facebook by searching Privatis.Me or by clicking on the Facebook icon on our homepage. It's really that simple.
VerdictProductions.com. Do you have footage you want turned into a video? Weddings, family gatherings, sports games? High-quality video production for any project you have. We also create detailed slideshows if you have information you want to put on YouTube or your website for all to see. Many other services including audio enhancement, music production, and CD mastering for your band. Need a company logo or an ad? No problem. We also specialize in graphic design to make your business or website stand out. Head over to VerdictProductions.com for a quote. Lowest prices on the net guaranteed.